Version 15.1 is out. Stay tuned for test results to see if the upgrade is worth it, comparing both systems directly. We start by checking idle memory and install size. Remarkably, the new version shows a lower and optimized memory usage. Now we use commands to verify data. The system version matches each kernel. The overall boot times remain quite similar. To ensure unbiased testing, we used the same HP Pavilion 15 PC and identical configurations across all evaluated systems. We ran single-thread CPU Sysbench calculating primes, which allows us to measure the single-core processor performance. Performance was similar in this single-core test, though version 15 stood out with many more events recorded per second. Then, for multi-thread power, we ran CPU Sysbench with parallel loads, analyzing scaling efficiency across 5 threads. The multi-thread test showed similar scaling on both. Again, version 15 outperformed with many more events per second. Now we analyze the scheduler, evaluating latency when multiple threads compete for resources and need CPU access at once. Although the average execution time was similar, version 15 stood out with many more events per second than version 15.1. Next, we measured synchronization through log performance under contention and efficiency in coordinating joint threads. In this case, while execution times varied, version 15 achieved a couple more events per second compared to the new one. Now we run memory Sysbench in read mode, evaluating transfer capacity and the overall efficiency of the RAM subsystem. The test yielded interesting results. Version 15.1 had a high read speed over version 15 by 100 megabytes per second. To measure write throughput, we executed memory Sysbench, analyzing the specific transfer rates directly to the RAM. In memory write, an inverted transfer rate was obtained. Version 15 had a slight advantage of 80 megabytes per second. Now we run file IO Sysbench, preparing a 1 GB environment and evaluating the continuous sequential write speed performance. Dataset creation finished, showing excellent performance for version 15, with a difference of 30 megabytes per second. For the final benchmark, we ran disk IO Sysbench, validating both read and write speeds using a random access mode. In the disk test, version 15 kept a major boost of 5 megabytes per second in read and 3 megabytes per second in write. Now, we run the top command to check the memory consumed by a Firefox window, with no extensions to validate its usage. Then, we open more tabs with video, noting that version 15.1 requires noticeably less RAM memory per active window. In conclusion, version 15.1 improved idle and active memory management, showing clear progress in overall efficiency. Instead, it showed a slight drop in processing, scheduling, and sync. Now, it is up to you to draw conclusions and decide. That is all for this video. If you liked it, please subscribe, leave a like, and enable alerts. See you in the next video.